This is Reporter Room with Jessica Della Davies.
Hey guys, come on in, come on in. Today we're going to be talking about the Madeline Soto case. There are some updates regarding Madeline Soto, Jennifer Soto, and in the Stephan Sterns trial, which will begin with opening statements on July 25th, and I will be airing that here on Reporter Room. My name is Jessica Della Davies. I'm an investigative journalist, and my job is to investigate crimes, crime scenes, and potential suspects, and share with you how to do the same thing. If you have not subscribed to Reporter Room, it's free. Like, share, and let me know what number thumbs up you are. And let's go ahead and get started. I do want to say that everything I'm sharing with you is my opinion. Opinions are not facts, and that this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. So come on in, and we're going to be talking about Madeline Soto. I want to talk about Jennifer Soto specifically and Stephan Sterns, but we have updates on Stephan Sterns' upcoming trials. So come on in and tell me where you are from, and let me go ahead and pull this up. And you guys know I like it to get started right away. So this is very, very interesting. My source on this is Court TV, and they are reporting that now this trial is taking place in Kissimmee, Florida, I believe, in Osceola County. Now, Stephan Sterns is now 39 years old. You can see him in this picture here. He appeared in his orange jumpsuit, and I think in the Bryan Kohberger case, I do think we're going to see Bryan Kohberger in an orange jumpsuit, possibly for sentencing. I don't know if he's going to be allowed to wear a suit now that he's, but maybe he will. I don't know. But he appeared, Stephan Sterns did, before Judge Keith Karsten. Now, the hearing addressed two motions filed by the defense team, including a request for Stephan Sterns to be unrestrained during the trial and to be able to use normal writing instruments. So he just wanted to use, a regular pen instead of the flexible pens provided to inmates. Now, he is facing two trials. The first trial is going to be regarding the essay of Madeline Soto. And that is going to begin July 25th. I am going to be airing it here on this channel. And the second trial will be in the fall, and that is for him doing away with Maddie Soto. I don't know why they have this divided up into two trials. It could be just that he was indicted separately. It could be that they just want to make sure they have two bites at the apple. Now, Deputy Ricardo Rosario, he's from the sheriff's office, testified at the hearing, which took place yesterday, regarding safety protocols for defendants during the trials. Now, he explained that Stephan Sterns would be wearing a stun cuff. And a lot of people have wondered if Bryan Kohberger was wearing something similar during his hearings. Now, a stun cuff is something that's worn around the ankle and would not be visible to prospective jurors underneath the clothing. But, Stephan didn't want to have to wear anything. But this officer, Rosario, said that we do have to maintain a level of safety and security for the inmate and everybody else in the courtroom. Now, defense attorney Alicia Smith, she cross-examined this officer, Rosario, and he did confirm that Stephan has not attempted to escape custody and has not displayed any type of bizarre behavior. I guess if we're, while he's in custody, but, I can understand from a judge's point of view and, to keep the jury safe and to keep the judge safe. And he said that he, just describes Stephan as being quite compliant with whatever we tell him to do. This is how the officer described Stephan Sterns' affect. Now, during this testimony, the judge denied the defense motion, so that he citing safety concerns that were raised by the prosecution. And the trial, the jury selection will begin July 22nd. However, we will begin airing it on July 25th once we have a chance to go through all of the information with the jury. We don't want to, I don't know, all the information. That's probably not the right way to describe it. Once they have done jury selection, I don't know. That's kind of dry. So we're going to definitely be watching the trial itself, which I think is going to be very, very interesting and something that is worth watching. And I want to pull up this. Okay. And let me make myself a little bit smaller. So there we go. So I want to talk a little bit about Jennifer Soto. I do have issues with Jennifer. I just, she hasn't been charged. And this isn't to take anything away from what Stephan Sterns did. But just for those of you that don't know, like who Stephan is, let me just put up his picture. This is Stephan Sterns. Okay, so just a quick overview for those of you that are new to the case. He was the live-in boyfriend of Jennifer Soto, Madeline Soto's mom. He lived there with Maddie, her mom, and a third roommate. This is according to what officials have stated. Now, Stephan Sterns told detectives that he was supposed to drive Maddie to school on the day that she was reported missing. However, when Jennifer went to pick her up, she had learned from school officials. Now, some people have said that she got a call that Maddie was not at school that day, and this prompted her to do an immediate search. Stephan Sterns has been charged with 60 counts of SA after photos of what he was doing to Maddie were allegedly found on his cell phone. Now, Stephan turned his cell phone over to law enforcement, but before he did so, he returned his cell phone back to factory settings, not once, but twice. Maddie was not found for 5 days. She was ultimately found in a grassy field. And so he is going to be facing charges for that. He has pled not guilty to all of the charges. So I want to talk a little bit about Jennifer, and then I'm going to go into, I just do feel like we need to go. Let me pull this up. I am really frustrated that she has not been charged with anything. I have to let the ad play through.
Today and joins us live here in the studio tonight. So, Marie, Jennifer Soto has not been charged in this case.
She has not, but the new evidence shows detectives repeatedly questioned her about the relationship between her daughter and her boyfriend. In a fiery conclusion to an Orange County Sheriff's Office incident report, a detective writes Jennifer Soto continuously protected the man accused of sexually abusing and killing her daughter. During one interview, a deputy questioned Soto about why she seems to prioritize Stephan Sterns over her daughter. At one point during that conversation, she referred to, quote, this.
Yeah, so, I think that's on everybody's mind. Why was she prioritizing Stephan Sterns over Maddie? And, in my opinion, she did this repeatedly. She said that, I want to go to her interview. So, I just wanted to show that because I don't feel like, I'm the only one that's looking at this, having red flags about Jennifer Soto. She definitely is a problem in my opinion, but she has a immunity deal, which basically means that she won't have to plead the fifth. But it will not protect her in the event that law enforcement finds something separate from what she testifies to charge her with. But according to court documents and interviews, Jennifer Soto, who was Maddie's mom, that it was not uncommon for Stephan and Maddie to sleep in the same bed together. Now, before Maddie went missing, Stephan told detectives that Jennifer had asked Maddie to sleep together with him in the room because Jennifer was not feeling well and needed to sleep. So poor Jennifer needed her rest, no concern for Maddie and what Maddie needed. So Maddie's forced, at the direction of her mother, to have to go to the room with Stephan Stern. And this was not the only time. This happened ongoing. During the interview, Jennifer described Stephan as, of course, she's throwing him under the bus now, a master liar, and said she wanted to believe that he had nothing to do with Madeline's disappearance. However, after being shown evidence photos, she realized he was guilty, and she was protecting him right until she was shown photos, evidence photos. When asked what she believed Stephans was guilty of, she replied, "He's been grooming and SA my child," the report stated. I also saw a couple of people in the comment section defending the fact that Jennifer Soto did not call 911 herself personally. And I just want to explain why this is a red flag, in my opinion. If you think it's a red flag that Jennifer Soto did not call 911 herself personally as the mother of Maddie, put a 1 in the chat. If you think it's absolutely normal for the mother of a missing child to not call 911 herself to report her child missing, put a 2 in the chat. But the argument was that it was fine that a friend did it, and I disagree. It's not fine. Jennifer was the mother of Maddie. As the mother, she and Stephan wasn't her husband. He wasn't anything to Maddie. He was Jennifer's boyfriend, and Jennifer is ultimately responsible for Maddie's well-being as her mother. And the fact that she did not call 911 herself is unusual. It's highly unusual. Most parents of a missing child will call 911. They will be begging law enforcement to come out and help look for their child. They will get on camera with news crews and advocate for their child's safe return. And remember, Maddie was missing for 5 days before they ultimately found her. The other problem, and there are, so many with Jennifer Soto, in my opinion, is the fact that she sent Maddie upstairs, more or less directing Maddie to go upstairs with Stephan Sterns. Now, Stephan was not her current boyfriend. They were broken up. So why was she sending Maddie to sleep with her on again, off again boyfriend? And what kind of arrangement was really going on between Jennifer Soto and Stephan Sterns? And will he flip on her in exchange for maybe a little bit of nicer prison conditions if he is convicted? So does anybody else feel like there's a potential pay to play, or that Jennifer sacrificed Maddie? Please watch your words, and so you don't get caught in the YouTube filter, so I can actually read your comments and see your comments. But let me just see what you guys thought on the poll, and then I want to talk more about the problems with Jennifer Soto. And Jess says, please leave your DNA on the like button. It really does help. Yeah, it does. Thank you so much. Subpoena says, I think a lot of people are wondering where these photos were going, what he was doing with them, if he was profiting of them. And I think he really did not think law enforcement, the reason he turned his cell phone over, which he tried to keep that from coming into trial. And of course, the judge said no, but he thought that he was safe to turn his cell phone over because he returned it to factory settings twice. So thank you for modding today. And Susie says, I just can't believe a mom would send a 13-year-old. Yeah, no, it's really, really weird. Red flag from Julie. Dawn put a 1. Wow, 1. Okay, so a lot of 1s. I don't see anybody thinking this is normal. I have 1, 2. All 1s. Thank you for modding today, Christine. A lot of 1s. Wow, you guys. Thank you for modding today, Mike. Moth says, I don't think it matters that Jen didn't call as long as she told someone else to call immediately. Very interesting. Connie says, it sure is. Wow says, leaving the school when she didn't come out is unusual. Subpoena said, who thinks it's normal that she didn't call the police on her own? And Jazz thinks it's disgusting. And Subpoena says, I think that person needs to explain their... Oh, no, that's okay. Here's how it works. We don't attack each other for having different opinions as long as people express them politely. So Nobody needs to explain. It's okay. So please be respectful of each other. We're not going to all agree, you guys, on every single case. You might agree with me on this one. You might not agree with me on another case that I'm covering, and that's okay. We're not going to all agree, but this is a critical thinkers channel, which means that everybody is allowed to come in, express how they feel, as long as they're polite about it. So does anyone else feel like there's a potential pay to play? It seems like there might have been. Just be careful what words you use. If you drop me a comment in the comment section below, if you're in the top chat, please watch your words. But either way, there's absolutely no excuse, in my opinion, for what Jennifer did. And I do think she needs to be held accountable, not for Stephan doing away with Maddie, because I don't think that she wanted that to happen, but for all of the things that he did to Maddie leading up to the day. And I do think that Jenn is 100% responsible for Maddie's well-being. And she directed her daughter to go upstairs to sleep with a man who was not her boyfriend at the time. He was an on-again, off-again boyfriend. And there's just no excuse for that, in my opinion. And I think, Jenn's reasoning for that was so she could get a good night's sleep. And this is, in my opinion, a classic case of narcissism. Let's look at this. Consider, just even her lack of concern for Maddie's disappearance, how calm she was in the recording that I played for you guys last week of Jennifer Soto. But I think it is concerning, that we have Maddie missing, and Jenn's big concern is for Stephan. So let me go ahead and play a little bit. I have to let the ad play through. Let me see. I need to make this smaller and scroll down. Maybe I did not open this one. Let me just. Okay. I have Stephan's pulled up as well. But she is going to be testifying at the trial. My computer's thinking about showing me the video. She is going to be testifying at the trial. And then we have Stephan Sterns in his interrogation. And detectives talked with Stephan Sterns for hours in the moments after Maddie was reported missing. He had to have been their number one suspect. After he was detained and arrested, we have this video of this 2-hour interrogation of Stephan related to Maddie's disappearance. And I want to just share with you some of the highlights that he talked about during the detective's interrogation. He talked about sleeping arrangements and a snuggle cuddle time, which is just so disturbing on so many levels, being that this was not her father. This wasn't her stepfather. This was her on again, off again mother's boyfriend. And when discussing the day that Maddie disappeared, detectives asked Stern about the sleeping arrangements, and they said, "So what are the sleeping arrangements?" And he said, "Maddie usually sleeps in her mom's bed with her." So of course he doesn't want to admit it. And if there was nothing nefarious going on, why not just say what it is? And detectives press and they say, "Did you sleep in her bed Sunday night?" And Stephan denies it. He goes, "Oh no, I was just back from being away a couple of months." So again, he was not involved in Maddie's life. He was not Jenn Soto's current boyfriend. And Maddie, wanted us to all be in the same bed together. I don't buy that for a second. Her mom needed to get some serious sleep, so she said no to that and suggested that the guest room upstairs had a big fat bed and that Maddie needed to get some snuggle cuddle time. And that room, this is so gross, you guys, that room would suffice. So you're talking about Jennifer Soto here, could sleep in peace. And the detective said, "You say snuggle time. What does that mean?" And Stern says, "Maddie does not like to be alone. She's extremely dependent. She needs a human presence around her." I'm just so off, just so put off by this. Let me fast forward to Jenn's interview. I'm just going to go about 39 minutes into. I'm just fast forwarding. Just want to do a quick sound check. Can you guys hear this? I know you can hear static right now, but can you hear this? Let me fast forward a little bit.
Oh, and then yesterday she had her, or Sunday she had her.
So I just want to do a volume check. Just a quick yes or no. Can you guys hear that okay? Just a quick yes or no. Thank you, Njaz. Njaz says yes. Mary says yes. Thank you so much for letting me know. Okay, that's what I just wanted to. Didn't want to play the whole interview and then find out that you guys couldn't hear it. Thanks, Swims with Scissors. Appreciate that. Thank you, Moth's Mommy. Thank you, Margie. All right. So, and Brother Mike says she looks. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with her. I really don't. Hound Lover, thank you so much. And Jewel says, "What mother does this?" Yeah, I know. Stephan Sterns is a creep. Thank you for modding today, Christine. All right, so let's play. I played a little bit of this before, but I fast forwarded this.
At her birthday party, right? Sunday she had her birthday party. Okay, what time was that party at? It started at 3:00. Okay, from 3 to what time? I'm not sure. I wasn't there. I was at work. Oh, okay, you were there. But I know my sister home around 8:30. Was Stephan here at that time? I'm not sure if he was here at the time, but I think he got here a little bit after. And he was like, okay, she was already doing what she was supposed to. She had taken her nighttime meds, and she was getting ready for bed, like taking a shower. She'd take showers at night. So he's like, okay, she was already on it. I didn't get home until, I'm going to say 10:30. Okay. And then at 11, I sent them to bed. Did Stephan make it to the party? No. Okay. And then...
And this is why people are so suspicious of Jenn Soto. He didn't make it to the party. He just showed up to sleep with Maddie.
Once you get here, you said you sent her to bed at 11. And the following morning... Well, I'm sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. You send them upstairs, right? How many bedrooms are upstairs? 3. Okay. Where? In bedroom number 4. Okay. And what about Stephan? Bedroom number 4. Okay. Is it normal for both of them to sleep in the same room?
See how she avoids speaking the truth? If she really thought there was nothing wrong with this and this was A-okay, why can't, instead of saying bedroom number 4, why can't she just say, I sent them up together? Sometimes when I really need a good night's sleep, I will send them upstairs. But when, also a lot of times we will sleep together in the king size bed, all 3 of us, or sometimes Stephan will go upstairs and our bed alone. So it just really depends on what's going on that night with our schedules and what we're doing. Okay. Where were you sleeping? Downstairs in the king size bed. Okay. And remember, Stephan and Jenn had been broken up for a few months prior to this. So he's not her current boyfriend. He's just coming over. So what was really going on here? Is it just you two here, or you guys have a roommate, right? We have 2 roommates, and one of the roommates has a son who's here like a little bit more than half the week. So what rooms do you guys use? The room downstairs, the master bedroom downstairs, and room number 4. Okay. So it wasn't last night. It was the night before. Stephan slept in bedroom number 4 and you slept downstairs. Yes. In the master. Okay. What time did you wake up? I'm going to say around 8:00 in the morning. Stephan came into the room and was trying to put the leash on the dog. Somewhere between, I'm going to say somewhere between, he came into the room somewhere between 8 and 8:15. He came in to put the leash on the dog, and I got up to try to help him because my dog is kind of a nervous dog and I didn't want him to pee on the bed. I don't think her dog was a nervous dog. I think her dog knew this guy was bad news. Animals know. They can sense this. So we wrangled him, put him on his leash, and he said, go back to sleep. And I said, okay. So I laid back and went back to sleep. Okay. I heard people in the kitchen. I'm not sure exactly who was in the kitchen. As far as I know, I came downstairs to get ready in her. So she's got, she's kind of got a bedroom in the living room. If you go into the apartment, you'll see there's like
one of those fake walls,
Mm-hmm.
separating half the bedroom. She's got like a desk with a bedroom and a TV and a dresser.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll hang out there during the day, but she never sleeps there. She always sleeps with me, and then the rare occasion upstairs. But most of the time it's with me.
Okay. Did you see her?
Why couldn't Maddie have her own bedroom separate from her mother? Why? Did there have to be a guest room and Maddie couldn't have her own room?
On Monday morning?
Visually see her? No.
Did you hear her?
I heard many people in the kitchen. I'm not sure if it was my roommate or her specifically.
Okay. Is your roommate a male or a female?
Female.
Okay.
They're both females.
When was the last time you physically saw?
Wednesday, 11 o'clock. I'm sorry. Sunday, 11 o'clock.
Sunday when you sent her to bed.
To bed. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then when you woke up, you said you woke up briefly because Stephan went in there. Did you go back to sleep?
Yes.
What time did you get up?
Let me see if I actually have my alarm set. No, I don't have the specific day on there. Let me check something real quick. I'm pretty sure I woke up around 9 o'clock in the morning, and then I left at 9:30.
I had an appointment.
I had a doctor's appointment at like 10:15.
So she needed a good night's sleep so she could get up at 9 o'clock in the morning, you guys. That's why Maddie had to go sleep with Stephan.
But they took a while. And then by the time they did my blood work and whatever, I think I got home somewhere between 11 and 11:15.
Okay. When you got back, was Stephan here?
I'm pretty sure he was, yeah.
What was he doing?
Just sitting in my room. At my computer desk on his phone.
Okay. What did you guys do?
We chatted for a little bit. I asked him what had happened because he had called me earlier at 10. Let me see. Pretty sure he called me around 10:18.
What did he call you for?
To let me know that they didn't go to McDonald's as planned. He had asked her multiple times if she wanted to stop at McDonald's because that was the plan the night before. That they were going to wake up early. He was going to take her to McDonald's, do like a special McDonald's breakfast, and then drop her off at school early because she wanted to get there a little early. But on his way to school, she was very sleepy and wanted to sleep in the car.
Yeah. She didn't get any sleep that night. So she was supposed to get a special breakfast. Was that her reward?
And she said she did not want to do McDonald's. She just wanted to be dropped off.
Okay.
I'm sure she felt absolutely sick to her stomach. Maddie did.
Also to let me know that he left his phone at home because I had called him multiple times and he hadn't picked up. He had left his phone at home by accident. He had went to the vape shop, but they didn't open on time. So he had waited for quite a while in front of the vape shop. They didn't open, so he left and came back, and we hung out a little bit. And then I think he left again to the vape shop to go buy what he needed.
Okay.
Do you want the name of the vape shop?
Yes. If you have it at the top of your mind, I'm sure we're going to talk again soon, and we'll have more.
No, I'm just saying because that might be helpful if you want to see like surveillance or anything.
Okay, so at some point, I understand he gets like a flat tire, and he's not able to go with you to pick school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you get to the school,
how do you realize that she wasn't there? So I went to go. I usually leave around 2:30 to pick her up. She gets out of school at 4. So I wait it takes me about 20-25 minutes to get to the school, and then I wait about an hour for her to get out. I waited the whole time. And then when the bell rang and then it was time for her to come out, she wasn't one of the first kids like she normally is. And I realized I was holding up the line because everyone behind me had children and they needed to get out because I was the first in line. So after about, I'm going to say, I think it was like 4:10, she didn't come out and I was holding up the line. So I drove away. I said, maybe I forgot to tell her that I was picking her up that day because I don't know if she knew that I wasn't working that day. But
So she had to get a good night's sleep, not because she had to go to work, just because of a 10 o'clock-ish doctor's appointment. Just let that sink in. That's her reason. That's her rationale that she gave. And again, I'm not taking anything away from Stephan Sterns and what he did. And I'm not trying to be mean to Jenn. But I think this is just absolutely appalling. She is responsible for her daughter's welfare, and to send your daughter to go to a guest room with a man that is not even your current boyfriend, is not her father, is not, related to her in any way. And you're not even going to be there. You want to go, quote, get a good night's sleep. It does make me wonder what was really going on in this household.
I had assumed that she thought, she knew that I was going to go get her. So because she never came out, I left and I went. She works less than, I'm going to say it's like a 3-minute drive from the school. It's very close. She works in the Hunters Creek Villages area. I drove that way and I drove along the path that she would walk and I didn't see her. And then office, I asked, hey, has she gotten here yet? They said no. And I said, okay, let me wait a little bit. And I parked back again on Hunter's Park Lane, I think. And I waited along that lane to see if I would see her walking. And I didn't see her walking. And it was about 4:30, 4:35. At this point, she should have. So I went back to the office. And then I was like, is she here yet? No, she hasn't gotten here. And I said, okay, hold on. Let me see. I called her best friend. And I was like, hey, are you, I don't know if I told her I was picking her up from school today or to walk to the office, but I don't see her anywhere. And she goes, no, she never came to school today. She didn't come to first or second period. And I said, what do you mean? We dropped her off close to school. She should have walked to school. She goes, no, she never made it to any of her periods. And I said, can you please check with your other friends in your other classes to see if she ever made it? She got back to me and said no. At this point, I started to panic because I realized something was wrong. I emailed one of her teachers.
So she panicked, but she didn't call 911 herself. She had someone else do it.
A few of her teachers, actually, and one of them responded to me. He said she didn't make it to his period at all, and he checked all her other classes, and she didn't make it to school at all. That's when I knew something was truly wrong. And I'm not before that email or after that email. But I started panicking and freaking out because she should have been to school. She should have made it.
And then I understand she forgot her phone, right?
Yeah.
Is it common for her to not have her phone?
Yes. She's got ADHD. She's super forgetful. She never realizes that she's in the shower for a whole hour. She loses track of time. She's very.
And then you guys went.
And it's unusual for the mother of a missing child also to be negative about the child. So to just, talk about, how unusual all of this is, and that, she would be in the shower for a whole hour and lose track of time. I feel so sorry for Maddie.
Looking for her, right?
Yes.
Where did you look? Like, did you drive somewhere? Did you walk? Like, where did you go look for her?
Okay. So, after her best friend called me, actually, or I talked to her best friend on the phone, I went back to the school to see, let me check her official attendance. Let me see what's going on. They were already closed. Nobody was at the school. So I searched by backtracking into the school and then coming back out and seeing that there were no kids at the school at all. So then I drove office. Everything was driving. And then I think that response from her teacher at that point. But
Did you come back to the apartment at any point yesterday once you realized she was missing?
Stephan was at home waiting for us to get back. And then when I told him something was wrong, she never made it to school. He completely hauled it back to me. And then we all stood there waiting for the cops to show up, and they didn't show up till like 7:30.
Okay. So I just wanted to play a little bit of Jenn, and I want to also play a little bit of Stephan. Let me, I have to cue this up because an ad plays with music. All right.
Okay. Have you ever had your rights read to you at any point in your life?
I must have.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm going to do them.
We're going to, I just do want to do a sound check and just make sure you guys can hear that okay. It's not too quiet. Can you guys hear the thing? Yeah, she does sound robotic. Yeah. Can you guys hear the sound okay? Okay, thank you, Njaz. And this is our head mod, Njaz, along with Brother Mike. I do want to say thank you to Njaz for gifting a Reporter Room membership. Thank you so much, Njaz. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And she gifted another Reporter Room membership. Wow, you guys. So if you're watching, come on up and talk to me. If you received that membership, please let me know. And if you are giving this a thumbs up, please let me know what number thumbs up you are. So I want you guys to watch a little bit of this.
Again, just to get it out of the way, and then we can talk about you take school and stuff like that, okay? All right. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning. Do you understand these rights? Okay, perfect. All right. So before we start talking, one last thing. Can you just raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm that the statement you're about to give is the truth, nothing but the truth to the best of your knowledge, so help you God?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. All right. Let's talk about your relationship with, and we just talked to a little bit. So how long have you been together?
7 years, 6 or 7 years,
Okay.
close to it.
Where'd you meet her?
Work.
Where was that at?
We worked for a home building company. It's no longer in business, but we were both in the call center area.
Oh, okay. So like selling homes or?
Yeah. We were best friends for about a year before we made it official.
Gotcha. So you consider you and her boyfriend, girlfriend? Okay. Any engagement plans or anything like that?
No labels, nothing. We were just happy.
Okay. And how long have you lived with him? Because I know it says she's lived in for years.
Yeah. Off and on for years myself.
Okay. Any family that lives in?
No.
Okay. So on and off, how long do you think it would be?
This stretch, 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
And remember, they were off again at the time that this crime occurred. Crimes.
Kind of mentioned that you two maybe split up for a little bit in December, then you moved back to wherever your parents
Poor Stephan, he's tired. He's tired.
live. And where's that at?
It's in Northport, it's down by Sarasota.
Okay, so on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So I understand you had recently. She had Party Sunday? Is that right?
Sunday, yeah.
Okay.
So
Did you come to the party?
No, I was not. I was on my way up at that point.
Okay. So the party ends. Did you pick them up from the party?
Someone must have dropped her off.
Okay.
She was there when I got there. Asked me to make sure that I was getting into the shower and did her bedtime routines, which she did. She was already on top of it, so nothing to do there.
Okay. What time do you think you got back?
What time I got in there?
Yeah.
Maybe 8 o'clock, 8:30ish, something like that.
And I apologize if you've answered these questions before. It's just like I said, we're coming into the game late, so I may ask you things that you've already answered probably 3 or 4 times.
What law enforcement wants to do is they want to nail him down to a story, and then they're going to ask him to repeat it. This is the repeating of it.
And I apologize.
as well. My memory is not super reliable on time frames. I've been medicated for the better part of a week.
Okay, that's fine. What do you take medicine for?
Anxiety mostly. Been having some money troubles lately. Anxious over that. So.
Okay. Well, hopefully your money troubles get better.
I've been medicated on Ativan since probably Saturday.
Okay. Gotcha.
Poor him. Right? Poor him. Poor me. This is so typical of somebody, not everybody who's a narcissist is sociopathic, but for sure people who have some type of psychopathy. I'm not diagnosing him, I'm using it as an adjective. For sure, people who have some type of psychopathy are always narcissistic. So this is all about him. Poor me. I'm the victim. And if you've ever had any type of interaction with somebody who is like this, a perpetrator who is like this, and you see them flipping it around on you, and suddenly somehow they're the victim in all of this. This is very interesting to watch this interview and just watch how he portrays himself.
All right. So when you got to the apartment, what happened? Like,
made some dinner, made some ramen. I love how I make my ramen. Then we started watching Sister Act, but it was time for her to start getting ready for bed. Her mom got home basically just as we were starting Sister Act.
okay.
And that was just about bedtime.
What time is bedtime?
Usually 10:30, 11ish,
Okay.
something like that. It's a spectrum, not a set time.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that time very well.
Then, so who's going through the bedtime routine? Because I know she says she has somewhat of a little routine too that she does. Is it her? Are you talking about?
Routine is taking her meds, eating some food so that she can have the proper calories for the meds. And then she's got about an hour to do whatever she needs to do because she needs to fall asleep at that point.
Okay, gotcha.
Her bedtime.
And if you look at his body language, it's really, really interesting. He's making himself look as small and as diminutive and as harmless as he possibly can. And of course, we know he is a monster.
Routine is taking her bedtime meds, brushing her hair. She should have showered that night. And then she goes to bed as well. Usually with some bombs or something on in the background. Scribbles.
Got it. What are the sleeping arrangements?
Typically sleeps in her mom's bed with her.
Okay.
And that bothers me too. They had a 4-bedroom place, but this Maddie was not allowed to have her own bedroom. It makes me wonder why would she have to sleep in with her mother?
Did she sleep in her bed Sunday night?
No. I was just back. I'd been away for a couple months. I wanted us all to be in the same bed together. So her mom needed to get some serious sleep.
So there it is. I wanted us all to be in the same bed together. It just makes me wonder what was going on past nights when Jennifer was in the room with them.
So she said no to that and suggested that the guest room upstairs had a big enough bed. So needed some snuggle cuddle time that would suffice and get to sleep in peace.
Okay.
Snuggle cuddle time. There it is.
So you say snuggle time. What does that mean?
Does not like to be alone. She is extremely dependent. She does not like to be alone at all. She needs human presence around her. Absolutely.
Gotcha. She's right. She just turned.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've been trying to wean her off of that, but it's been difficult.
What?
Now he hasn't been there. Jen's on again, off again, and they were off again. He just came over on this night to spend the night with Maddie because Maddie needs it. I feel so bad for Maddie.
About her father, biological father.
He lives in Kansas or Texas right now, but I think he's on his way down to help.
Gotcha. Okay.
Last I heard.
All right. So says you go up so you can spend her time, snuggle time with you to help her go to sleep. Is that right?
Just bedtime. Yeah.
Bedtime. Okay. Did you stay in the room the entire night?
Not the entire night. I'm usually up and down sometimes. So I might go grab a drink or something, or yeah, I'm up and down sometimes.
Gotcha. But you stayed. You didn't at any point go sleep in bed.
No.
Okay. All right. So night goes on. Morning time comes around, and it's time for to go to school. Walk me through that a little bit.
Excuse me.
Oh, he's so tired. Poor baby. This is a master class just for everybody that wonders how the perpetrator turns themselves into the victim. You are watching that happen right now before your eyes. Oh,
Morning routine.
I'm so
She usually
little.
starts waking up. We set about 3 alarms. First one goes off, and we let her keep snoozing.
Do you remember what time her alarm goes off? Or what?
Not really. Maybe 7:30ish. I'm not sure. Alarm goes off. We let her snooze about 3 times while we start getting ourselves ready. And after the third snooze, it's time for her to get up for real. And
Keep in mind, Maddie was probably not allowed to sleep at all that night. Just keep that in mind.
start getting ready. Typically, she will have showered the night before, so she needs to brush her hair, brush her teeth. Excuse me. Get her book bag together. Eat some breakfast if she's going to eat there. And then we eventually make our way out the door.
Okay. So walk me through, you leave, you take her to school in your car?
Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of car do you have?
It's a Lincoln. It's actually my parents' car because my car is down south. It needs maintenance, and we're scared to drive it too much. So I'm driving a Lincoln right now. Got out early. The plan was to get some McDonald's on the way. So we got out nice and early.
Do you remember what time you left, roughly?
Not 100%.
Okay.
I'm sorry. My memory has not been super reliable.
No, that's fine.
So he's already prepping the police officers in case he gets caught in some lies. My memory's not been super reliable because he's going to lie.
But it was early. Maybe 7:30, 7:45, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm honestly not certain.
That's fine.
The plan
Was she awake when you guys left?
semi-awake. I was giving her updates as we were going along. Getting ready, she's getting dressed. We're leaving now. Goodbye. But she was sleeping in, so I was just giving her little updates and poking my head in as we went. But we leave the house. We start making our way to the school. I was asleep in the car for most of the time.
He says Maddie was asleep in the car most of the time. I feel so sorry for Maddie. As you know, she wasn't allowed to sleep that night and probably other nights too.
We make our way over towards our school area, I asked her if she's still in the mood for McDonald's. She says no. She doesn't want it anymore. Okay. Continued on. It was still pretty early though, I think. We still had some time to kill. It wasn't really time to drop her off yet. I had apparently forgotten my clicker key fob for the gate. So I ended up actually turning around at some point and going back to the community to get the clicker. I had to use my parking sticker to get in for the guy to scan.
Now notice all the minutia details he's giving about the clicker and all that. This is all to delay what actually happened to Maddie.
I had some errands to run afterwards, and I wanted to have my phone. But we still had plenty of time as far as I knew. So we did that, grabbed the clicker, left again, and that's when we drove over to her school area, and I dropped her off where I dropped her off.
Okay. Do you remember where you dropped her off?
Yeah, it was the stretch of road. I forget the street name. It was the stretch of road that the school is on. Make a right onto it. It goes down a little ways. There's some communities over here, and then up further there's a church, and then there's the overpass and the school on the other side of the overpass right there. I dropped her off on that stretch where the communities are.
Was she by herself when you dropped her, or was her friends there?
Yeah, she was by herself. She said she was going to go find her friends and hang out, wait for them to show up.
Okay.
It was still.
And of course, we know none of this actually happened, but he's picking a place, I'm sure, that didn't have a lot of security cameras.
Where did you go after that? Like, did you see her walk towards the...
I saw her making her way towards the direction of the school, but she was like kind of shuffle step. She was meandering her way there. She was rummaging through her backpack for something. I assume she was looking for headphones, maybe. But as it turns out, she did leave her phone at home that day, so she might have actually been looking for her phone.
Gotcha. Okay. What was she wearing when she left, or when you dropped her off?
Green hoodie, black shorts, black or blue, black shorts, white Crocs.
White Crocs. Okay. All right. So she's walking towards the school. Do you continue straight when you leave? Or do you turn around?
I turned around and went back the other way.
Oh, he's so
I was
tired.
watching her in my rearview mirror.
Oh, he's so tired. Poor baby. Poor me.
And she was going the right direction, so it looked okay.
And where did you go after that?
The next stop I wanted to go to was the vape shop. It opened at 10, so I had.
And notice the language there. We already know he did this, allegedly, in my opinion. But he says he wanted to go to the vape shop. He didn't say, I went to the vape shop. I just want you to notice the change in tenses here.
So I just kind of meandered.
Let me just back it up a little bit.
Eventually made my way over there to wait for it.
All right. So she's walking towards the school. Do you continue straight when you leave? Or do you turn around?
I turned around and went back the other way. I was watching her in my rearview mirror. And she was going the right direction, so it looked okay.
And where did you go after that?
The next stop I wanted to go to was the vape shop. It opened at 10, so I had a little while, so I just kind of meandered around and eventually made my way over there to wait for it to open. It didn't open when it was supposed to, so I left and came home. Went back about an hour later when I was sure it would have to be open at that point. Got what I needed there and made my way back to home again.
And of course, we know that he didn't go to the vape shop till an hour later, but there's a gap there. There's a reason, right? Because Maddie was found.
Relaxed and hung out with her for a while. Seemed like any other morning.
When you got back home after dropping off at school. Was she home at the time?
I think she was on her way home. I think that she had a blood appointment, and we were both kind of going to arrive very shortly with some time with each other.
Okay. So when you got home, both of you got home, walk me through the rest of the day.
Just hung out, chit-chatted. I mean, I don't know. It's not much to recollect.
So just go back to all the detail he gave about looking for the clicker, finding the clicker, all that detail. But here there's like time gaps where he skips over, and there's not much to recollect.
But you stayed at home pretty much all day, or no?
Pretty much until maybe noonish or 1 o'clock. I had a few errands to run, but I wanted to be back in time for us to go pick up from school.
Mm-hmm.
So I just ran up and down 192. Ended up getting a flat at some point, which made me somewhere along 192.
192 is a big road.
It is, and honestly, it all looks the same to me. So I've been asked, do you remember what plaza you were next to, what color? And I'm like, I'm ADD as it is, and I was in a medicated fog for the better part of a week. I'm lucky I remember what color I'm wearing right now.
He remembers all the detail about the clicker, looking for the clicker, but couldn't remember where he went. Everything else is a fog. So we've jumped over huge gaps of time where there's no information at all. And the only reason I'm pointing this out is when you're watching future interviews with suspects, you can look at this and look at where they're jumping over stuff and where they give them all this extra detail where there doesn't need to be an extra detail. Nobody cares how long he spent looking for the clicker. But what really is important is where he was, from the time they got in the car onward, and that we have him just jumping around. And of course, he's in a medicated fog, so he can't be expected to remember.
Do you remember what errands you were running?
Yeah, I wanted to go check out some game shops.
And again, you'll hear I wanted to go check out some game shops, not I did go check out some game shops. So definitely a change in tense here.
Where were these game shops?
There's Coliseum of Comics. There's House Rule Games nearby. A lot of the Targets and Walmarts carry the game I was looking forward to. We just had a new release on Friday, so even though I don't have much in the way of money right now, I still wanted to look and see what the situation is.
It's always nice to window shop.
It is. And I'm a serial consumer. So I was just driving around up and down 192, sort of just aimlessly, honestly. Just killing time till it was time to go back.
All right.
Killing time. That jumps out too.
So when you got home, did you go pick up from school?
So I got home, it was 10 minutes later than I had wanted to leave to go get missed her by 10 minutes. I called her and said, hey, where are you? I'm so sorry, I got a flat. She already left. She had been gone for 10 minutes. It didn't make sense for her to come back and get me. She likes to be the first in line when the kids start coming out.
Okay. Then obviously wasn't at school. So what happened? Did she call you after that or what?
I was already on the phone with her while she was waiting. We were just chit-chatting. We do that. We just keep each other company even if we're not physically together. And she's like, where's my kid? Not coming out. And that's when we started asking questions, Did she go somewhere else? Did she know that you were going to come pick her up? Did she possibly walk to her grandma's house or her grandma's office, which has kind of been what she's been doing for the past week because her mom has started working a new schedule. So we started making all the calls. And no one had seen her yet. And so that's when we started getting a lot more concerned and panicked.
And it's interesting because I don't see any actual concern or panic on his face. when he's talking about this. There's no actual concern. He talks about feeling concerned and panic, but no, the facial expressions don't line
Drove
up.
around a little more, looking for her, looking along the walking paths, and didn't see anything. Went to her mom's, grandma's, went to mom's office. Not there. Waited around. Not there. Went back to the school. Not there. At that point, the whole family started rallying up and going to meet at the mom's office. And, I think that it was around that time we might have called 911 as well.
Gotcha.
And when he says we called 911, it wasn't him, and it wasn't Jenn. It was a friend of the family that called 911, which again is very unusual.
Going back to bringing to school, how was she like on the car ride there?
She calmed down, sleeping. Sleeping along the way. She does that.
How often have you taken to school?
Not often, honestly. This might have been my third or fourth morning school run. I'm not normally the one to do it.
And on the other occasions, has she had you drop her off in and around the same location, or how does that?
She has this image thing. I guess it's just a middle school thing. She only likes to be seen getting out of certain cars in front of the school. Her mom's is acceptable, but mine's, I guess, kind of a hoopty, and she's embarrassing. Right?
Lincoln? What does her mom drive?
A nice looking Sentra. So yeah, it's not.
Again, this is unusual for parents. Now, he's not a parent. He's not even a stepfather. He's a on again, off again boyfriend of Jenn Soto. But it's really unusual for a missing child, if you actually care about that missing child, to talk about them in a negative way. And he's characterizing her as being so shallow that she didn't want to be seen getting out of his Lincoln as opposed to her mom's car, which is just, awful. So I do want to YouTube bad actor says, I was 1,000 times more upset when my bike was stolen than these two, right? I know. And he's just making himself so small, so tiny. Yeah, definitely. The trial, yeah, he never took her to school. I agree. Exactly. That's why we get all this detail about the clicker and the missing and the clicker. We get all that minutia and detail. So I kind of wanted to play it for you. And then him, and this is how they, reverse Darvo by just making themselves a small and diminutive and harmless. And I'm just so medicated. I can hardly remember. Sapina said, people telling me that Adelson case will be in court soon as well. I won't know what to watch. Shallow or embarrassed? I don't think probably either. I think, but the way he's characterizing her, in my opinion, is negative. It's not a positive portrayal of Maddie. Certainly unusual if he actually cared about her, which he does not. Sophia thought I thought this would be about new updates on this case. I started with this new updates on the case, Sophia. I started with that. So you'll have to back up the chat. I'm not going to go into it, but I'm glad you're here. But I'm not going to back up. We opened with the new updates. Wow said, so far he seems to protect Jenn to his parents. Will this continue in the trial? Was Jenn selling to the teachers that they were arrested? I don't think she was selling anything to the teachers. Amelia says it's a subtle gaslighting of Madeline. Right. He's very subtly making little negative remarks like she didn't want to be seen getting out of my car. It's a way to put down Maddie, which is unusual when you have a missing child that you actually care about. And so I just don't think, I think that what I'm doing is looking at this in terms of, does he care or not care? And I just don't think he does. Either way, he's lying. Absolutely. You're right. Yeah, absolutely is. No problem, Sophia. Wow said, I thought her sister and Yolanda both called. Yeah, but it's unusual that the parents did not call. Thank you to Christine for the $1.99 super sticker. That is so nice of you. I will be putting that toward a new camera. So thank you so much for that. And thank you, Runs with Scissors, for the $2 super sticker. Thank you so much. That is very, very kind of you. I do want to say thank you to our producers and Jazz, Sasha Angel, George Brown, Christy Ballantyne, and Brother Mike. And thank you to our channel members. And we are going to be airing the trial here on this channel. If you would like to watch it with me, the opening statements, jury selection begins, I believe, on July 23rd. However, I don't know if we're going to be allowed to watch jury selection. I also think that's kind of dry. And we have the sentencing of Brian Kohberger on July 23rd. So on July 25th is when opening statements begin in this case. And I will be airing the trial here on Reporter Room if you would like to watch it together as part of a true crime community. I don't talk at all during hearings or trials. I will chit chat with you in the top chat. But definitely, I think this is going to be a trial that's definitely worth watching. I also want to just give super thanks and coffee gratitude from our last live stream a few days ago to Brother Mike, Shannon Nelson. Thank you for gifted channel memberships, NJazz, Valerie Hutsfield, Northman Girl, and NJazz. And let me just say thank you to Brother Mike, Shannon Nelson, Brother Mike, and Teresa. Sorry about that. So I just wanted to play a little bit of Stephan Stern's interview so you could just sort of get a sense of what his behavior are. But I also think it's helpful to just understand and know how perpetrators act. He's already telling law enforcement how his memory is so bad. He was on Ativan that week. And he's got all this detail about the clicker, lots and lots of detail about the clicker. But then when he actually gets in the car to take Madeline to school, that's when all of a sudden we have these, chunks of time. He wanted to go to the vape shop, not I went to the vape shop. And of course, we know he couldn't go right then because he was doing something to Maddie. So I just wanted to also just show you, if you are ever in a situation like this where you are, and you're like wondering how, when you're actually the victim and you're wondering, how is this getting turned around? Why am I being made to feel like the bad person? And this, you could see him doing this very skillfully. This is probably something he's done. He's made himself very small, very diminutive. And of course, he's so tired. And, I'm the victim in all of this. And so that's how they do it. And that's how they turn things around on good-hearted, kind people like you guys who actually, have normal emotions. And you can also hear how he's lying, which is why I also thought that it was worth watching. You could hear him changing from present tense, where he's thinking about what he was doing, to he just wanted to go do this, where he didn't actually go do that. Because it's hard. The brain doesn't want to lie. It's hard to lie. And you could just see him struggling, in my opinion, to lie to police. He's not been convicted yet, so he's innocent until proven guilty. But I'm not a judge. You're not a judge. This isn't a courtroom. But he's, innocent until proven guilty. And, you can just see him twisting things around. And I just think it's what happened to Madeline is just really, really sad. I mean, she deserved to feel safe in her own home, and instead she's being sent to bed with this monster. And her mother, who is, ultimately responsible for her well-being, is the one that's telling her to go do this. And it does make me wonder what was, and there were images. This is what the trial is coming up on July 25th is about. It was about all of the images that this man had of Maddie. And in my opinion, he wasn't with Jenn at this time. They were on again, off again. So why was he there that night? And what did Jenn think? What did Jenn know about the reason that he was there? And why did she feel like it was acceptable to send him to the room with Maddie? Was this a way of her trying to hang on to this boyfriend? Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below. And thank you so much for coming by to spend a little bit of time with me. I look forward